Hi, this is Chris McLaren. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for FSC US, and I'm here to talk to you today a little bit about the FSC supplier search. I'm going to start with the buyer user experience, which is what you're looking at here at buildwithfsc.com/sourcing. And when I'm done walking you through some of the features of the new buyer user experience, I'm going to spend some time walking you through the supplier user experience. So without further ado, let's get right into the buyer user experience. As you can see, it's a very simple initial interface. It's embedded within a larger microsite designed to serve the needs of manufacturers, distributors, retailers, AEC professionals, and or homeowners and do-it-yourselfers. But it's really key that a buyer does identify as one of these three types, because on the back end, we then use that information to pair them up with only the suppliers that actually make sense. So once the buyer is identified as one of these different buyer types, they have the ability to use these different menus to identify the products they need. These menus are very easy to use. The user experience that we've developed is effective on mobile devices and other form factors. And so no matter what type of device a buyer is using, they should be able to use the Wood Finder. Now, once they click search, they're going to get to the search results page. And as you can see, the search results page is pretty different. It includes a dynamic map user experience that allows buyers to understand at a glance where the suppliers are. And as they scroll in and out of this map, the results that display below the map also refresh. Users have the ability to also pinpoint specific suppliers simply by clicking on a little icon. Also, buyers have the ability to enter in a zip code, and by doing so, get a better understanding of the distance that a given supplier is from their project site. The supplier search is now multilingual. Buyers in Mexico can now use the Wood Finder in Spanish, and buyers in French Canada can use the French-speaking version. The final thing I wanted to share is the ability for users to capture their search results and share them with other people. So these three circular icons at the upper right here enable buyers to save their results as a PDF. And this PDF is now designed to be formatted very nicely. It includes all the search parameters, and the user can simply click the Save button to save it as a PDF, or they can choose to print it if they want. And this is an extremely handy way to capture the results. Another thing that buyers can do is use this little mail icon to select suppliers, specific suppliers that they want to contact directly. Click Compose Message, and it will take them to their email client to finish the inquiry. The last piece of functionality is the far right button here, a little arrow button, and that enables users to get a specific URL for these search results, copy it to the clipboard, and share it by either email, social media, or whatever they prefer. So those are some of the, I think, highest level and most important things to share, although there's more in the buyer experience to come. What I want to do now is walk you through the process. If you are a supplier and you're already in the Wood Finder, FSC will have sent you an email that's going to look a little something like this. So the subject line is important, claim your FSC supplier account. And the message includes directions on how to claim your profile in the new Wood Finder. The easy way to do this is simply click on this custom link. As you can see, it takes you to a Supplier Portal. What you will also see is that some of this information is already pre-filled for you. So because we know you have a sales email address in our system, that sales email address is going to appear. Also, your FSC license code is going to appear pre-filled. The only thing that you need to do as a supplier already in the system is to create a new password. But since I'm already in the system and demoing it, that password is already entered for me. Now, if you are not already in the Wood Finder, it is going to look very similar. The only difference is that The FSC license code for your company is not going to be pre-filled, and your email address is also not going to be pre-filled, so you'll need to put that in on your own. Otherwise, the process is exactly the same. And for brand new suppliers to the Wood Finder, you just scroll to the bottom of buildwithfsc.com/sourcing, and you'll see a link that says want to be listed, register now. Just click on that link. So I click create an account and I'm in. Now this is an example, but it does have pre-filled information so that you can see what the user experience looks like with information in there, and that's appropriate for suppliers that are already in the system because we've carried your data over into the new user experience. If you're new to the system, you're going to need to enter the information from scratch, but as you'll see, once you've entered that information in one time, it's in there, and all you need to do thereafter is update it periodically. So anything that has a little red star next is required. In this example is pre-filled, but we're simply seeking for the most basic information about your company here. A contact information that can be used for your login credentials and to display publicly as your sales contact as the default. As you'll see when we get into adding locations, you do not have to use that single contact for all of your locations. You could have custom sales contacts for each location you enter into the system. We also need your company name and your company website. Pretty simple. Once that information is in place, you simply click continue, and it moves on to your adding locations tab. The locations tab is also pretty new in that we've been able to rework the system so that companies that have multiple locations can reflect that. And what you want to do with the locations tab is make sure that every location that actually carries product is in the system. So for example, if you're a company that has 6 different locations, one of which is a headquarters office and does not actually have any product there or does not serve customers as buyers, that's not a location you want to put in, right? Like you only want to put in those other 5 locations for your business that actually carry product and can sell to customers. Now, each location is listed in its own sort of tile. And if you click on the little pencil icon in the upper right, you can make edits to that location. So in this case, the location title is first location, just to make it simple, in the state of Washington. And the sales contact for this location is currently checked as Samantha Johnson. As you'll see, like Samantha Johnson is our default contact. But if I want a different sales contact for this location, I simply uncheck that box and then I enter in a new contact. Enter in their phone number. And their sales contact. Oops, I went the wrong way there. There we go. And there now that sales contact will be the sales contact for this specific location. So you can have one sales contact for your entire company, or you can have an independent sales contact for every location in the system. It's up to you. The other thing that you need to know is you can now designate the location type. And this is important because by selecting the location type, it makes it possible for us to list location whenever a buyer has explicitly chosen to narrow their results by location type. So you select one of the location types shown and then list out the species that you stock. The species selection is very important. You can select as many of these species as you want. The value of doing this is that it's a simple way for buyers to find suppliers of species that are commonly sought after, and that if you carry them, you can appear in their search results very, very easily. With a simple one designation, that buyer will find you. So it's very important that you include the species as well as the type of location as you're updating your data if you're already in the system, or if you're brand new to the system, that you be sure to use those fields. So you simply click update and now you have all the additional information that you've added, including the new sales contact, the species, and the location type. You can always add another location. When you're done adding your locations and the details that apply, you simply click the continue button, and now you're into the product section. Select a product either by typing it in or by selecting the category. And the categories, as you can see, appear directly below to make it fairly easy for you to select them. Once you've selected a specific product, you select the types of customers that can purchase the product. And as you can see, and as I promised, you can select all 3 types if you want, or you can select 2 out of the 3, etc. Then you need to designate how quickly you can sell the product, whether it's regularly stocked or whether you have lead time required. And then the system knows what locations you've entered and shows them in a menu here. So it's very simple for you to select the locations that apply to that specific product, click Add Product, and it is added to your set of available products. And as you can see, it does designate what locations you offer that product at. So it allows you to customize the inventory that you carry by location. You do that by using the little icons on the right for each of the products that you carry. By clicking on the plus sign, you can edit the characteristics of a given product by location. So for example, with other imported species, it's carried in 2 different locations. I can click on the little pencil for Cove Road, change the settings for customer types that can purchase the product, the availability of the product, and I can also toggle it as being available or unavailable, which is convenient if you have products that are sometimes available and sometimes not. You can simply toggle that on or off without having to delete the product entirely. Click Save Changes, and you can make other changes like I'm doing here for both locations, and now your product characteristics are customized by location. When you've completed the process of entering in your products and designating the locations at which they're relevant, you simply click Finish Company Data Entry. And when you've done that, what happens is a message is sent to FSC to verify the information. That allows us to click into the system on our side, confirm, and then publish your data changes to the public Supplier Portal. If you need to continue editing, you can do that. And let's say you wanted to add a product that you'd forgotten about, say posts and beams. It's available to homeowners and DIYers, and it's only available at Cove Road location. Now, if I do that and I click Finish Company Data Entry again, the user experience is going to resend a message to us so that we know to confirm on the most recent set of data that you've submitted. So don't worry, whether you do it all in one swipe or whether you go back and continue editing, all of the data that you're entering is going to be saved. When you're done, you simply click Log Out and you're out. Now, once you've done that, log in using the credentials that you created to this URL, bookmark this URL so that you can find it later. That's very important. And at any time, whenever you need to change your information, it's very, very easy to do.